Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Smriti Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So today I thought I'll speak for a little bit and then we can have some bhajans after. Today I thought that we can reflect on Bhaja Govindam, being that we are in Adi Sankara Nilayam and it's the home of Bhagavan Adi Sankaracharya ji. We can reflect on the shlokas that he wrote about how to live life. So I've taken one verse, I'll chant, and then you can repeat after me, and then we can reflect on it together. Okay? Kate kanta dhanagata chinta Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta Trijagati sajjana sangati reka Bhavati bhavarnavatarane nauka Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. So this text is very, very useful for our daily life. In this particular verse, Adi Sankaracharya ji gives us sadhana of how to be worry-free. Many times our lives are filled with so much worry, so much anxiety and tension, and no matter how much Vedanta we study and how much Bhashya we know, when we go home, we're still so worried, so restless, so agitated. So this verse is all about how to make our lives worry-free. And he gives us the secret in verse number 13. Kate kanta dhanagata chinta. Why worry about wealth? Or why worry about your wife, your husband, your family? Why worry about all of these things? Vatula, and he calls us Vatula, means oh crazy people or oh distracted people. Why are we so worried? Why are you worried? Kim tava niyanta na asti? Don't you have a niyanta? Isn't there a God who's taking care of all of us? Trijagati sajjana sangatihi eka. In these three worlds, sajjana sangati, the connection with the good, the wise, eka nauka is the only boat, or is that single boat, bhavati avarnavatarane, which can take us across this ocean of samsara. So first, let's look about what worry is. What does it mean when we worry? Worry is when we waste our time thinking about negative outcomes whereas we could actually put our energy towards creating positive outcomes. So it's just a waste of mental energy, thinking about all the what ifs that could happen, all of these things in our head, when we could actually use that energy to do something else. And many people have this misconception about worry, that if we worry, we care about you, right? People say, I'm so worried about you. I'm so worried about you. It means that we people care. No, it means that they've nothing to do, right? That's why people are worrying. Because if people really cared, the way to show care is through attention, through giving somebody attention, not over attention, but just the required amount of attention. That shows that we care. Because when we worry too much, what happens is we tend to get attached to the person, or the person gets spoiled, or the person depends upon us too much. And when we totally neglect the person thinks that we don't care at all. So to love, to care, is actually to give attention, but not necessarily to worry. And many other people also have this misconception about worry, that, how else to think about the future but worry? We don't know how to think about the future. And the only way is to have all of these things in our head. But there's a difference between being a visionary and being a worrier. Very often, people quote this verse in Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyeva dikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, right? And it says there, okay, so just do your duty and don't think about the future. But what it's really saying is, think about the future with clarity. Puja Gurudev was a visionary, and he thought about the future with clarity. He envisioned it. That's okay. But thinking about the future with anxiety, that's worry. Because that's just not going to help us in the long run. Now, what does this worry do exactly? Number one, it gets us tensed. Physically tensed, mentally tensed. It gets us so tensed. Physically, the blood pressure goes up. People shake, people sweat, people go crazy. So physically, something's happening. Mentally, we also get stressed out. And sometimes people are sitting home all the day and they say they're so tired, but they didn't do anything physically. But why are they tired? Because of so much worry. What else does this worry do? This worry creates a lot of fear. It creates fear because we don't know what's going to happen in the future, so we're worried about it. We're afraid, we don't know if we're going to do something well, that we'll fail, so we're worried about it. So it creates this unnecessary fear in us. And whenever we function under fear, things don't go well. So from a very practical aspect, when we worry, physically it won't do us any good. Mentally, it's a waste of our energy. And then spiritually also, it means that we're lacking faith. Gate kanta dhanagata chinta. Why worry? So Bhagavan in this verse says, instead of being a worrier, become a warrior. And how do we become a warrior? Kim tava nasti niyanta. Surrender. Because the truth is, there are so many things that are out of our control. No matter how much we plan, no matter how much we do, no matter how much we prepare, when we experience something, it's not just our work that goes into it, it's everyone else's work. We planned so much to come here to study Brahma Sutra, and everyone prepared, did whatever they had to do. And there's so many circumstances that didn't work as we planned it, which shows that there's other forces too. One time when we had a retreat in New York City, we had planned everything. One of our Swamijis had come, and we had planned meditation in the beach. And so I went there about 2 or 3 weeks ago to the beach to check everything, to make sure we're sitting where the sun will rise, to make sure everything looks okay. And the arrangements were where to put the food, where do people put their shoes, all of that we thought of. And the day that I went to plan all of this stuff, it rained. So I didn't even see the sun. So then I said, okay, now I don't know what to do, but I'll just have to have faith, because I went, and it's an hour away from where I stay. So the day that this meditation was supposed to take place, we had timed the sunrise and everything happened just as it should have happened. Means I couldn't have planned it better. It's as though all the forces worked with us. Nature worked with us, the Devatas worked with us, everyone around us worked with us. The minute we got there, the sun was rising beautifully. And when we were sitting down for meditation, everything was quiet. And right after the meditation finished, all of the loud music in someone's car and some metal detector, all of the noise just started. And I was just thinking, I could have never planned that. No matter how much effort I could have put, I could have never planned that, because there's so many other forces there. So the truth is, things are not in our control. Partially, they can be because of our effort, but there's so many different forces out there. Also, when we take into consideration, there is God. There is God, so why are we so worried? We may be in this field of Advaita Vedanta, where we are pure awareness. And somebody also asked me in one of the classes in New York, they said, okay, I get that I'm pure awareness, but so what about God? Why worship God? And I said, well, why not worship God? I mean, don't you see that the whole universe, there is a universal intelligence. There's a universal intelligence that makes everything work. How is it that the sun rises and the moon rises and sets? And how is it that there's always the force of gravity? And how is it that the fire is always hot no matter what country we go in? And how is it that the frogs are made so that they can live in land and water, and the fish are made with gills so that they can swim underwater? And how is it that a human being is made so perfectly so that we can experience this world? Did you and I do that? No. There's a cosmic intelligence. There's a cosmic awareness that's taking care of everything. And you and I don't know better than God. When we worry, we're actually insulting God. It's like, now think about it, for your kids, if they come to your house and they're worried about food, and they worry about where to stay, and they worry about what's going to happen, well, how will you feel? Won't you feel like, what, I cannot cook for you? I don't have a bed for you to stay? Won't you feel like that? So how do you think Bhagavan feels when we're worrying? Bhagavan must be thinking, oh, don't you think I've been there for you your whole entire life? Don't you think I'll take care of you? Don't you think I'll be there for you? So when we worry, we're insulting God. We're insulting that universal intelligence who's there to take care of us. And you think that I made this up? No. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says it. It says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaf paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Bhagavan says, whoever thinks about me single-pointedly, whoever worships me, then what do I do for them? I take care of their yoga and I take care of their kshema. Yoga here means anything that they need to acquire. Kshema means anything they need to protect. So Bhagavan will take care of everything. All we have to do is just worship Bhagavan. Now, isn't that the most beautiful thing? If we really, truly believe this, then we never, ever have to worry for a single day in life. If we just offer ourselves to God. And the way that God takes care of our yoga kshema is very funny. It's not that God always gives. Sometimes we think that yoga kshema is always giving us. sometimes yogakshema can also be taking. What do you mean? So first of all, Bhagavan promises that he'll give us what we need and not according to our greed. So if we don't get something, don't think it's because Bhagavan doesn't love you. It's because maybe we don't need it after all. And then how is it that sometimes he gives and sometimes he takes for our yogakshema? There was a story of Bhagavan Krishna and Narada Rishi. And Narada Rishi and Bhagavan Krishna went to two houses to visit. Now in the first house, they were two brothers. This brother was very rich, had a lot of money. And Bhagavan Krishna went there and he blessed that brother and he said, may you have more wealth. So already Naraji is saying, what is this? He's already so rich. Why do you want him to have more wealth? The second house that Lord Krishna went to, that brother was so poor. He was so poor, he only had one cow. And Lord Krishna says, may your cow pass away soon. And Narad Rishi said, what is this? How can you even say that? And so this poor brother had a lot of faith. He said, whatever you say, I'll accept. And so Narad Rishi, you know Narad Rishi, he can't sit. So he said, Lord Krishna, what is this? Why did you do this? And he said, the first brother had a lot of money, but he still feels he needs more and more and more. So let him get more and then eventually he'll get vairagya. He'll get some dispassion and then he'll come seek me. So let him get more and more so he can get vairagya from it. Right? So then Narad Rishi says, but what about the other brother? Lord Krishna says, look, the other brother, the last attachment that he had was his cow. So I had taken the cow away so that he can finally be with me. So this is the way Bhagavan does his yogakshema. Guruji beautifully said, Bhagavan is not just the world's greatest teacher, but the world's greatest teaser. Because we never know how that yogakshema is going to happen. So what does this mean for us? Surrender. There's someone who knows more than us. There's someone who knows better than us. There's someone who has sight of all the factors that come into play for something to happen. So surrender to that which knows. Surrender to that which has that strength. Surrender to that which is full of this great wisdom. That is our niyanta. Then he says, Trijagati sajjana sangati ekanauka. He says in all the three worlds, what will take you across this ocean of samsara is satsangha. Satsangha means association with good, with truth, with wisdom. How does satsangha do that? In so many ways. First of all, when we look at sadhana chatushtaya, upon entering Vedanta and we see Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dhamma, Adi, etc., Mumukshutvam, we look at that and we say, we're never going to make it. Right? Because it's so difficult, we feel, to cultivate these qualities. And then when we look at these qualities, which one do we focus on? Do we focus on this or do we focus on that? And then sometimes my shama is going well, but my dhamma is not going well. Sometimes my titiksha is there, but my shraddha is lacking. And then I drive myself crazy for no reason. But the beauty of satsanga is that all we actually need to do is attach to something higher, and these qualities will come in us. They will manifest. We don't have to physically put forth effort to cultivate shraddha, cultivate viveka, cultivate vairagya. No, just associate with those who have it. And you know what they'll do? They will bring it out in you. Because it's already there in us. They will bring it out in us. So satsanga gives that power to bring all these qualities in us. Because when we associate with people who are either established on this path or on this path, we see the beauty in them. We see the glory in them, the grace in them, how they're living their lives, and it's so inspiring. And we think that, wow, maybe I can do that too. Or maybe I should be like that also. We start admiring. And whatever we admire, we want to possess, we want to be that. And that automatically comes from within. It comes from our inner inspiration. So when we're in satsanga, this is what it does. And it does it so subtly without us even knowing it. We just start to admire the Guru Parampara, our co-seekers, our co-sadhakas. We start to admire the beauty in them. And we say, wow, I want that too. And we start to wake up. That's what satsanga does. What else does satsanga do? Satsanga triggers us. Somewhere in us, there is this seeker. There is a seeker of truth. There's a seeker of truth in everybody because we're all seeking for happiness. We all want this joy. So it's there, but it's sleeping. It's not been triggered. It's not been touched for a long time. So when we're in satsanga, that trigger becomes alive. Like how in Valmiki Rishi, right? He was a dacoit, but inside him was a seeker. And all he needed was that trigger of Narad Rishi. And once he had that trigger, what did he do? From Ratnakar, he became Valmiki. Swami Chinmaya ji, in his Purvashram, he was a non-believer. He was questioning all of this. Is it true? Is there a God? What are we in this life for? He was questioning all of this. And so he went to Rishikesh, to Swami Shivanandaji, and all it required was that meeting with Swami Shivanandaji. When he met Swami Shivanandaji, it triggered him. It triggered that seeker in him. And that Balakrishna Menon became Swami Chinmayanandaji, our Puja Gurudev. So satsanga triggers us. It hits us. What else does satsanga do? Satsanga makes us remember that we have to seek. After leaving this place, what happens? We will all get caught up in our day-to-day life in whatever we have to do. In working, in cooking, in cleaning, in being with family, in traveling. Whatever it is, we will get caught up in that. True or not? We will. And we will forget what the purpose of this life is. We'll forget. And sometimes 1 or 2 minutes we'll have this question, who am I? Where did I come from? And then we'll say, I'm very hungry now, I want to eat. Right? That question will come for 1 minute and then we'll say, Allah, I'm so hungry. And what was that Brahman? What is that Brahma Pratipatti that we talked about? Never mind, now I have to go for my meeting, it's okay. Right? So then the question will come, but it will go as fast as it comes. When you leave from here, those of you who are studying, when you leave from here, you will see what happens. It will come and then it will go as fast. But when we have satsanga, it makes us dwell on that question. Every week, if we have study group, we look at everybody and they're reminding us we have to seek. Everything is Om and everything is Brahman and Om is Brahman. And you are that Brahman. Every week, it's the same thing. But that reminder is necessary because we forget. And we cannot deny that we forget. So satsanga does that to us. It prevents us from dropping the question. What else does satsanga do? We would never thought it had so many benefits. Some point in time in a seeker's life, we might think that that's enough. I have realized the truth. We think, I'm okay. I'm a good sadhaka. This is enough for me. I'm on the path and I'm doing well. But when we have satsanga with such Mahatmas, we realize, we still have a long way to go. We still have more we have to do. We're not there yet. And sometimes we can become complacent thinking we're there already. So this satsanga reminds us, hey, you're not there yet. We're not there yet. Walk further. Walk further. Walk further. And keep walking until you reach the end. That's why this satsanga is ekanauka. There's no boat like it. It takes care of everything, from giving us or inspiring us to have these beautiful qualities, to inspiring us by being around such wonderful people, by triggering things in us, by making sure that we don't drop seeking, don't drop the question, and by making sure that we go all the way to the end. This satsanga is the boat which takes us across of the Arnava, Bhavarnava, that bhava, that ocean of becoming. Why is it called ocean of becoming? Why is that Arnava Bhava? Because we always want to become. We always want to become something. Become this, become that, become this. But the idea is we're already that. We're already that. So satsanga takes us from becoming to being. And this is what will help us cross. And yes, you and I can swim across the ocean of samsara, but it will be very, very hard. When we have a boat, we have foolproof security that the storm may come, big waves may come, so many things may come, but we are steady and we are sturdy because of our satsanga. So to summarize what Bhagavan Adi Sankaracharya says, he says, how to live a worry-free life. How to live a worry-free life? Understand that physically, mentally, it's not doing me any good. Why? Because instead of thinking all these negative things about the future, negative future outcomes, I can spend time in creating positive outcomes, which will benefit my physical health, my mental health. Why should I do that? Because guess what? Not everything is in my control. There are so many various factors in any action and in any result of action. And when I trust that universal intelligence or God, then I can be truly worry-free. And how can I assure that? By daily satsanga. That is assured. Because my mind will always be kept in that which is higher. And whenever my mind is kept in something higher, there is no time to think about something lower. If I am disturbed about something, if I feel like something is really negatively affecting me, what does it mean? It means my mind has dropped from the higher to the lower. That's all it means. When the mind is in the higher, there is no time when you're thinking about Brahma Pratipatti and how Om is Brahman. Do you have time to think about all these disturbing things? No. That's the power of satsang. And that is the power and beauty of Bhagavan Adi Sankaracharya ji. So my prayer is, may we all be worry-free. May we ever surrender at the feet of God. And may we always, always stay in satsanga. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om.